a strong conservative who I heard about him from Tea Party activists across the state. And in other states too, they have been told, you've got to meet this guy, you've got to meet this guy. He's a strong, strong conservative that stands on principle. And he's on board with this defund Obamacare effort. And you know, Tea Party Express, that's what we're doing. We're out there looking for the next Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Mike Lee. And there are going to be races we're involved in, and perhaps Mississippi's one of them. And I'm honored to have here today with me State Senator Chris McDaniel.
Good afternoon. So much has already been said. I don't have a lot to add, but I'll say a few things nevertheless. I know that many countrymen of ours feel like strangers in this land. I know that it seems we have become two countries, an older America passing away and a new one to take its place. In so many ways, we recoil from some of that. It's affected us in so many ways. We are so uncertain as a people right now. Morally, we're uncertain. Culturally, we're uncertain. Fiscally speaking, we're uncertain. Constitutionally, we're uncertain. It seems we have forgotten the place of government in our lives and our role as government's master. How interesting that there's no better example of this great uncertainty and no better example of delusion politicians can solve all of our problems than Obamacare. So one of the few things that we have to learn is that when politicians come into a room and they raise their hand and they say there's a problem we've identified and it takes government to solve it, perhaps we have to begin to recognize that it's not government's place to solve all of our problems. At some point, it's the people's place to solve their problems. At some point, it's the communities that we live in to solve those problems. Maybe even the state. But to expect a central government 1,000 miles away to solve our problems, not only is that naive, it's becoming dangerous. Here's what it boils down to. There are people in Washington, D.C. that love to say they're against Obamacare. We see the emails, we see the press releases. And yet, if they are against Obamacare, how is it possible that you can vote for a budget that fully funds its implementation? It is logically inconsistent. We know it's problematic because we see these great young conservative stars rising to fight the battle. Senator Lee and Cruz and Rubio, I stand today with them asking Congress to defund this monstrosity, to put a stake in its heart. And I know a thing or two about Obamacare. I was the lawyer that represented Governor Bryant and 10 other Mississippians in the class action. We fought every day for more than a year. Hundreds of pages of briefing, only to be disappointed by the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. That doesn't mean our fight is over. Not if you value liberty, not if you value this republic. We'll fight. And we'll fight. And we'll fight. Because we believe in our cause. This is one we can't lose. If we're going to draw a line in the sand, this is the time to do it. Here's why. It's quite simple. The economy is going to suffer if this monstrosity maintains itself in our law. Not only will it be one of the largest entitlement programs ever, once it becomes law, and it has, and once it centers into the American psyche, how do you repeal it at that point? Now's our chance. Now's our opportunity. And if we don't, you know the results. The economy is going to suffer. The middle class is going to suffer. Thousands of jobs are at stake. Even the labor unions are against it. How unpopular is this monstrosity? 53% of the American people right now say they're unfavorable to its implementation. And if you talk about the mandate, which is something we tried to attack in the healthcare lawsuit, 70 to 80% of the people of this country claim they are against the mandate. 2/3 of Democrats in this country are against the mandate. If there was ever a bipartisan effort we could all agree on, it's how dangerous Obamacare is for the people of this society. You notice, I haven't even started talking about the debt. If there is an issue that will cripple this nation during my lifetime, it's an unsustained, uncontrollable debt. Obamacare adds to that over the next 10 years to the tune of more than $700 billion. And I think that, frankly, is a conservative estimate. When will the adults enter the room? When will strong patriots begin to stand and recognize we can't keep spending this way? You see, that's why I'm here today. I don't have any particular allegiance. to many politicians, I suppose, I am a politician. What I do have allegiance to are conservative values and policies, and to the United States Constitution. My generation's fight begins with Obamacare, and it ends with the debt. That's our fight. Forget about the other things for the time being. Focus on what really matters. That's Ted Cruz's fight. It's Mike Lee's fight. It's my fight, because we're fighting for the future of this country. Look, no point in beating a dead horse. You've heard all the reasons for it, defunding Obamacare. But there's one more reason that we need to vote to find. For the sake of the Republic, it shows congressional spine. Americans just want a champion. They want people to stand and believe in what they're saying, even if they disagree from time to time. They want to respect people for a change. They're tired of hearing politicians and press releases. They want action. So let's show congressional spine. This is my generation's fight. And we're not going to stop. If you can't draw a line in the sand here, where can you draw your line in the sand? If these conservatives can't stand right now and draw a line in the sand right now, where is their line in the sand? So, I urge Congress, I urge them all to give it a shot. They say, how do you know it will work? Well, how do we know it won't? You have to fight. You have to defend your principles, even if it's politically unpopular.